Hi and welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Vince. Thanks for stopping by. You're very welcome here indeed. So we all know people who live healthy lifestyles, exercise regularly, eat a good diet, generally live longer and healthier lives than those that don't. But why is it so difficult to live a healthy lifestyle? In this presentation, we're going to cover 6 reasons that could be stopping you from living a healthy lifestyle. Professor Marieke Adriaans and Rianne Lindout of the Leiden University asked the question, we know we should do it and we often want to, but why is it so hard to live a healthier life? The Scientific Council for Government Policy recently warned that healthcare in their country will become unaffordable in the future. Now, to me, that's not a surprise and could be rationally levelled at pretty much any Western country on the standard American diet. However, the Council estimates that by 2060, 1 person in 3 will have to work in healthcare, compared to now, where it's 1 in 7. One of the solutions for this future problem is to lead a healthier lifestyle. But for many people, this is a huge challenge. But why is this so? The Netherlands Scientific Council for Government Policy is an independent advisory body for government policy. Its task is to advise the Dutch government and parliament on strategic issues that are likely to have important political and societal consequences, and I would hope that there are other governments that have similar organisations making similar recommendations. The first reason offered by the authors is that Homo rationalis is a myth. Homo rationalis is an Aristotelian view of man as a creature distinguished by a rational principle, and that we may also think our beliefs are based on fact, reason and experience. So we are driven by rationale. The authors say that science has convincingly shown in a multitude of studies that exercise offers a miracle cure for an incredible range of conditions, but there has been much less research into how to stimulate people to exercise and adopt these healthier lifestyles. The belief seems to have been that it is enough for a doctor to tell their patients that a healthy weight will halve their risk of cardiovascular disease. The authors say we've been far too optimistic about people's self-reliance, and that Homo rationalis turns out to be a myth, in that knowing that something is healthy doesn't mean you're motivated to do it, let alone that you're able to do it. The authors say that many people have good intentions, such as losing 10 kilos or eating fewer sweets, but they don't make these resolutions concrete enough. What exactly will you no longer do? Or better yet, what exactly will you do, and where and when will you do it? For example, will you take a healthy snack to work to make it easier to resist the vending machine when you get hungry at 4 p.m. It sounds simple, but in practice, the authors say we don't think concretely enough about our intended behaviours. One author asks the readers, do you currently have a healthy lifestyle, and do you believe that is thanks to your strong willpower? Think again. Look at me, she says. I cycle everywhere. On Wednesdays, I sometimes cycle 28 kilometres to pick up my children. This costs me no effort, but not because I know cycling is healthy. Cycling has become my default because I'm afraid of driving. Your upbringing and all sorts of coincidences have resulted in your norms and your habits. So, anything you do well is not by definition thanks to your willpower. Our willpower, she says, is actually not very strong. Here are my thoughts on willpower as a reason. I think willpower as a reason is weak, and her example is also weak. Willpower or focus, call it what you want. It will be stronger in some people than in others, and in different areas too. Also, as we age and our personal circumstances change, our level of willpower will also change. Nearly every interview I have seen with an elite athlete, they've said it's hard to get up at 5 a.m. every morning and train, and then to train 2 or 3 times again in that same day, and also to eat correctly. But it is their focus on the goal that gives them the will to find a way. If you look narrowly at the word willpower, it could maybe be a reason. But if you say willpower also means drive or ambition, focus, self-control, restraint, resolve, grit, determination and or discipline, I will say that in most people, for some things, if even for only one, their willpower or their determination will be strong. The authors say that we are the playthings of unconscious choices. They say that most of our choices are not made through willpower, but are made on automatic pilot. You really do have a lot of routines and habits, but if you examine them closely and then very consciously try to change them step by step, for example, making healthy choices at fixed, reoccurring moments, you can create healthier routines that will make it easier to resist temptation. My question to them is, will examining these shortcomings give you the willpower to actually execute? The willpower that they have previously said, by default, is not strong. Or, as with most people, will you reach a compromise? For example, is it okay to have a cheat day? The authors also talk about space in our mind. So apart from automatic pilot, there are other factors that get in the way. These are our problems, stress, and everyday worries. For example, a busy family with young children and financial stress find it harder to find space in their mind to change their habits. People with a low socioeconomic status and chronic stress find it even harder to adopt a healthier lifestyle. The authors explain that in the Netherlands, and I think this is true all over the world, people at the bottom of the social ladder not only live an average of 6 years less, which is their lifespan, but also 15 years less in good health, and this is their health span. The authors say an important key is making healthy choices easier for the consumer. They say that governments can help by introducing things such as a sugar tax, but also via less radical adjustments such as nudging, making healthy choices easier. You can change people's behaviour by subtly making things such as the stairs more visible than the lift, or by placing healthy food at eye level in canteens and supermarkets. Some people see nudging as manipulation and think it infringes on their autonomy, but the authors say, is this actually what happens in practice? So these are my ideas on their comments on government intervention. Unfortunately, governments got us into this mess by pushing, not nudging, things like the food pyramid and allowing lobbyists and organisations like Big Sugar to donate to them to make the profitable choices. And now Big Pharma is cashing in on treatment. So we cannot rely on governments to get us out of this because they've been bought off. Ask yourself, whose idea was it to exclude the RDA for sugar on every food label worldwide? We know that processed foods are bad for us and that whole foods are good. We know that daily exercise is good for us and shortcuts are bad. But as was described before, it's all down to willpower. Also, their comment on making the stairs more visible than the lift, is this practical or even achievable in buildings that are being built or which have already been built? Well, I hope you found that thought-provoking. Let me know what you think of the author's 6 reasons, and let me know more importantly about the examples that they give. It gives you a measure of where their thinking is at. Some of the examples reminded me of a phrase or saying we used to have when I was in the army about young officers, in that they are like lighthouses in the desert, extremely bright, but absolutely no use to anyone whatsoever. I think that making lifts less accessible than the stairs is probably a non-starter, and also placing healthy food at eye level in canteens and supermarkets will be down to canteen managers and shop owners, and they're going to place the most profitable food items at eye level because they just want to make more money. Also, the sugar tax. I'm not sure the sugar tax is actually going to be that effective. Let me know what you think. Taxing the food is not the issue. The issue is the food. You need to make sure that the processed food is done away with, then there's no need to tax it so heavily. I think that a sugar tax is a little bit like putting a band-aid on a gunshot wound. It might help in the short term, but eventually the victim is going to die. And in this case, we are the victims. Well, that's it for today. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. As always, please take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.